Good morning, kiddos. It's Mr. B, and today is Tuesday, May the 4th, and this is the how-to lecture for trimester 3, week 8, and this is our experimental consolidation of a 4-note mode and a 3-note mode. We've gone through the heptatonic, the traditional modes of major and minor in the Western tradition, those 7 steps that are there, those 8 notes that make up an octave traditionally, out of the 12 that are possible in a chromatic context. So we've covered heptatonic, we've covered hexatonic, we've covered pentatonic, and now we're going to play a little bit with our own DIY of a 4 type of mode and a 3 type of mode. And from our artwork, we have these 2 patterns. We're playing with, ultimately, intervals of a minor third and then intervals of a major third, and then seeing what we get as a result of that combination. Now, in this week's work, you're required for a total of 5 tracks to perform. I'm only going to demonstrate 3 of them here because I don't want you to be influenced by the recorded media, by the work that I did. I want your influence in terms of your resources to be your own ear in what you choose. From a live perspective, I will certainly play these additional 2 tracks so you hear them in class, but from a resource perspective, in terms of supporting your independent work, I am leaving that out intentionally. So you have 2 additional tracks you need to add. I chose clarinet and the ertu as instruments that you could use. You can use other instruments, but I would like you to use 2 distinct instruments there. So what does this sound like before we get into it? And again, it's a loop, and there's a variety of reasons for why I emphasize that, but again, they should always loop. They should always be something that you could continue to play in that regard and expand upon. So here is our rubric, 92 beats per minute. You need 3 tracks that are defined that I'm going to show you. You need 2 additional tracks of your own. Again, it's 8 measures to be sure we've got that. So there are your 4 issues of consideration for your rubric, 100 points total as usual. Write that. As usual, 100 points. Track 1 is going to be defined by, again, this minor third shape starting with G at the top. We're playing a G, E, C sharp, and an A sharp. And then we're going to play our oboe track, which is a D sharp and a B, so a descending pattern again. What we're doing is we're doing the same triangular pattern, but we're leaving out the G at the top. So we're doing the same triangular pattern, but really only playing these 2 notes, not the G. So we're playing the D sharp and the B. And we're playing them in between where they would fit here. So as we go to the G, E, we're playing the D sharp in between here. And then we can see we're playing the B in between the C sharp and the A. So in between the C sharp and the A is where we're playing the B. The B is going there, and the D sharp is going there. And what that results with for us is a little hexatonic mode of our own making. And it does have a symmetry to it, bilateral symmetry, which does contribute to what its sound is. And then the last thing that's a requirement from my example work is a closed hi-hat sound, just a tapping, and I'll show you here in the example of where to play it on that cymbal. And then you have 2 additional tracks to provide to meet the requirements of the assignment. So let us go ahead and come into a clean slate. Alchemy Synth as usual. Epic Cloud, main categories, keyboards, classical grand, and done. We're already well centered here for C. Don't need to have anything else there going on. We need to attend to our tempo, and our tempo need be at 92 beats per minute. The reason for this, again, is that we are using a historic reference that I have shared with you in the past, which may be evident here, that we have a G, that -4, if I were to do all the math all the way down, gets us to 91.8 beats per minute. 92 beats per minute is what I'm rounding to. You may recall also that is the tempo from Blackbird, Paul McCartney, choosing a tempo that is consonant with the tonal center of the music, which in this case is G. And our title of our work again this week is a sun salutation, Sol being the G in a system where C is the tonic. Being that the G related to C is the perfect fifth, and the perfect fifth in any system is that G. The irony in our mathiness this week, though, is that we're not playing the perfect fifth. The fifth that we're saluting is G, relative to C in our system that we're talking about. So the pattern that we're playing, again, in the grand piano position, we're starting here at the G, we're going to E, C, A. So we're almost G, E, C, yeah, General Electric Company. But we're bringing in the A. So you're making it nice in an even 4 kind of a pattern. And you can see the symmetry is around this gap here between the B and the C. So and play the G just a little bit longer to give some emphasis to it. Here we go. And try to play it on the beat. And my on the beat there is a little bit questionable at the beginning, but like I've said in the past, leave those little errors. I would rather have a good clean take and have those minor errors, unless they become problematic later on in the recording, which I don't think it will. So that's where we're going to go. So next track that we're going to add, we're going to come in here from our Alchemy synth. We're going to go to our Epic Cloud. We're going into our main categories and other, and we're looking for oboe. We have oboe. And fortunately there we're staying in the same context. The notes, however, that we played before were the G. Those were the piano notes. The notes we're going to pick up now are the D sharp and the B. So the way we're going to play it is when they're playing the da, ba, we're going to fit those in. We're going to fit in the D sharp and the B underneath it. Now that would sound like this. So from the G, it's almost a ba 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 dum ba da ba ba da dum ba da. It's got a different vibe to it. So one more time as a sample, so you see it before I record it. I'm even practicing it. And so it's from that E, that G, E, ba-dum, ba-dum. That's the vibe. Here we go. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Happy trails to you. Okay, so there's that. Yes, it does feel like that. And then we're going to add our drum part. And our drums today are very, very simple. Again, noting that where you play on the cymbal has a different sound. Open. We're playing, this is the one we want though, this, there it is. The closed one. So it's right here at if you come over too far, right about at the 12 o'clock of the cymbal. And we're going to do it on the beat, so with the metronome. So we're going to substitute for the metronome. We're going to turn the metronome off after we've done this recording. On the beat. One. And that is that. Let's make sure it's all there, and it is. We're going to turn off the metronome, and at this point, you will add 2 additional tracks. You will add 2 additional tracks. You can add whatever instruments you'd like. I, made my choices earlier. We saw what those were. Again, I don't want to influence those choices other than from a live perspective. I'm going to show this to you again, but you must add 2 additional tracks. Here's what this sounds like alone. And that is that. And again, you must add 2 additional tracks. Thank you very much.